Welcome to a really special episode of Style by Sight. I was going to bring you shirts, shoes, and ties today, but I decided with Halloween so close to around the corner, I'm going to bring you some of my favorite looks for different decades so that you can be the best dressed person at the party. So come join us and let's get rocking. We're here on Replay 19th and we're going to talk about different decades of dress, and we're going to start out with the 1960s. So, the thing you have to remember about dressing 1960s is everything is very slim. So the pants that you're already wearing, the suits that you're probably already wearing because of the Mad Men craze are already in style. Just have to clean it up with like a cool vintage tie, something kind of really slim, and something kind of exotic like this, iridescent. But just make sure that everything you do stays slim, not very padded, one button, something like this are just beautiful, beautiful things that you can make a really cool 60s outfit because they're just very dramatic. So this is very Frank Sinatra. If you do this with a bow tie or a skinny tie, or it could be very Rolling Stones when you do this with a kind of open tie later 60s. So that is the 1960s front. Next up, I'm going to have the 1970s. All about big hair, big cars, groovy music, and they're coming off of those peace vibes from the 60s. Thing about 70s is everything is very big lapel and it's synthetic fabrics. So when you're doing a 70s look, when you find shirts that have really long lapels, that's where they come from. The same thing with the ties. They're very, very wide, and they have these kind of funky, ornate patterns. And so the way that you put them together when you're doing something 70s is that you take the two colors from the jackets, and that's how you match your pants and your shirt closest to those colors. So in this one, he's wearing light blue bell bottoms. There's light blue in the jacket, there's a brown shirt, brown in the jacket. You put that together and you wear it collar over the lapel, and you wear it wide and you wear it a couple buttons down. Same thing if you do something with a tie. The tie is very wide. We have the yellow bringing in the manila here, and the brown and the blue from the jacket also, and you do that once again with wide bell bottoms. So that for you guys is the 1970s. Now to the 1980s. The look that most guys are really, really synonymous with the 80s is the Miami Vice look, which is pretty much what I'm doing. Now the misconception is that they thought that he always wore a white jacket. Really is that he was wearing a lot of Italian designers that were modern at the times. So everything he's wearing is really long lapelled, single button, and definitely heavily padded shoulders with the rolled up cuff. This happens to be vintage Versace from that era that he wore on the show, so that's why it looks appropriate. But you do that with light colored pants and a contrasting t-shirt, which I got these Mossimo at Target, and you just contrast the colors to be something in between what you're doing. For other looks, I have the most dramatic look from the 80s. Lots of things were stoned, beaded, sequins, sparkles. It's the age of high drama, it's the age of teased hair, and everything was just absolutely as outrageous as possible. So you have something like these Wranglers. They're very high-waisted, very slimming. The jacket is oversized, drop shoulders, and this jacket is completely sequined all the way through, and you button your buttons all the way at the top. As a contrast, if you're not as adventurous, you can do this look, which is pretty much a members-only style jacket, and you just match the shirt, or you do a different shirt, and you just do that with some like stone-wash jeans, which are back now. They're easy to find, or acid-wash jeans if you can find them, and some chucks, and you have your looks down together, and that's pretty much it. So a last look I'm going to bring you is kind of an 80s and 90s look. A lot of the things that you recognize being as 80s, or you think that are 80s, are actually really early 90s. All the loud colors and the really denim contrast. And that's what we have with this look. It's really, really heavily oversized vest. It's actually tagged a size small, and you can see it's measured out to be more like a large. We did a lot of striping with the denim. This is stone wash and not acid wash. And then there's mix, and there's a little bit of leather. It's really popular early 90s. It's a very Zach Morris or Fresh Prince look. And then you find a shirt that matches the color inside whatever the top is. So this we have blue and white, and we found a shirt, button it all the way up. They're very easy to spot those shirts because in contrast with the 70s, things from the 80s were very notchy or smaller or slim lapel, but not quite as slim as the 60s, which you saw earlier. Now for pants, the same thing. If you're crazy, you can wear leather pants. If not, just black, 501 Levi's, 505 Levi's, Wranglers. Just keep it really simple. Chucks, Vans all the time, Doc Martens all of the time. And that's when, if you're doing something 90s, you either do all black or you're doing something that is really neon colored, which is what was in spring and summer of last year. So that is the 3 decades that I have for you today. We're going to talk more about it later in the series when I actually do a decade episode, but for Halloween, I think these looks are definitely going to make you stand out. I know guys, it's time to go, but it's okay. Halloween's around the corner and you are gonna look great. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I just wanna make sure that I thank the people that helped make this possible. Retropolis on 19th, several dealers there helped make a lot of this wardrobe possible. Replay on 19th, they're such phenomenal hosts. Thank you so much, Mike and Laura, and Quick Fix Tailors for making sure I'm neat and tidy for this for you guys. So make sure you like and subscribe the video to see what we're up to. Happy Halloween, look your best.